All right, so we're on object-oriented programming. Now, does that mean that everything in JavaScript is an object? You might have heard some people say this. You might have also heard some people say, oh, just most things are objects. Some are primitives. So what's going on? All right, so in JavaScript, functions and arrays are just special types of objects, just like how a square is just a special type of a rectangle, right? Because all a rectangle needs is 4 sides and 4 90-degree right angles. A square has all of that, but a square also means that all sides are the same length. So a square is a special type of rectangle. Functions and arrays are special types of objects, and I'll show you how that works. Part 2, all the primitives that you type in JavaScript, such as pure strings and numbers, once you type them, JavaScript wraps them in an object wrapper. And they do this because JavaScript works on prototypal inheritance. And they do it so that you can borrow methods from the base object, such as toString and such as hasOwnProperty. All right, this sounds good and all. Let's take a look at some examples. All right, so first, let's take a look at how all functions are just special types of objects. Then we'll move on to arrays. All right, I'm defining a very simple function called greet. It console.logs out hello. Okay, how do we prove that this is an object? First, if we just type out greet itself, we get the function definition. Now, for objects in JavaScript, as you know, we can access or create or modify properties with the dot method or the bracket method. So if greet is an actual object, that means we can do dot notation, right? What if we said greet.age to 3? Does this mess with the function? If we call greet, it still works. Can we call the age property on it? Yes, it still works. Now, if it's an object, that means you can also add methods to it, right? Let's see. Let's do greet dot hello is going to be a function that would just console.log out, console.log new function here. All right, so now if we call greet, we get the original function. If we call greet.hello, we get new function here. All right, so this proves that functions are just special types of objects. And I won't go too deep into this, but all functions are just objects that come with some special methods like call. So you can do greet.call, greet.apply, and greet.bind. Okay, and there's a few more that they come with, but that's what makes functions unique from objects, right? Just like how squares are unique from rectangles because all 4 sides are the same. Functions are unique because they come with some predetermined methods, such as call, apply, and bind. All right, let's move on to arrays. Okay, now let's take a look at why arrays are just also special types of objects. First, let's note that arrays and objects are already very similar. The only difference is that arrays have key value pairs that are in order, that are indexed, right? Starting at 0. So it is in numerical order starting at 0. Whereas objects, the orders do not matter. All right, so I will define an array literal of length 1, 2, 3, 4 with different value types. Okay. So if I type in ARR, we get the array. Now, just like functions, if it's an actual object, that means we can use dot notation on it. All right, what if we set AR.year, we're in 2022. Okay, let's see what happens. Now, if you look at the array, you see that it added the year property with the value of 2022, right? Now, what about the length? It still says 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's not including this year property. And that is because how the length method is defined on arrays, it will only count properties that have numerical keys, right? Or string keys like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. and not something else like year. Okay? All right. Now, we can also do what we did before. We can add a method to it. Let's say greet equals function, and then we can console.log hello. All right. So now when we type ARR again, we see that it added the greet as part of the property. If we open it up, right, we see 0, 1, 2, 3, and then we see the greet, which is a function, and then we see the year. All right. So now this proves that arrays are just special types of objects. And that is because they are in order. The key value pairs are in order. And the keys are always strings, and they start at 0 and they go in numerical order. That is the only difference. All right, I'll see you in the next one.